Hey guys! So this morning, when I was writing in my daily gratitude journal, I have a part where I say today's message to myself, and I just underline that, and I just write whatever comes through, and it's usually, not usually, it's for me and that day. So it's like, what do I need to focus on today? And it's often amazing nuggets just come out of that. It's why I've kept it in as a component when I've tried other things, added, eliminated. It's one of the core things I've kept for a long time because it usually produces something that's amazing and something to think about for the day as I'm going through the day, and it's often again produced because I know what my day is going to look like. So today, Saturday, a new thing I've started probably about 2 months ago, maybe a little less, is spending Saturdays working on goal setting and um, really every Saturday committing to the process of continuing to get deeper and refine my goals, because what I realized and what my message was today is that for the longest time, and I think a lot of people have this same idea, and it shows up, which is that we think our dreams and our passions are just something we should know inherently, that that they just show up. But if you look at the world, you see most people, and I put myself in that camp, struggling to find what their passion is. And the reason is because we have the wrong mindset. We think we're supposed to know, but just like anything, we think we're supposed to know without the work, instead of realizing like to actually discover your dreams and your passions does also take work. I hate to, be a bearer of bad news, but everything good takes work. So even digging deep and really finding that passion that's going to light you up takes work. Like the people who are really living their passion, some of them might have got lucky, for sure. That's the case. Some people might have known off the bat what they were here to do and what lights them up. But most people, I would argue, have spent time testing things, trying things, doing personal development work to figure out the thing that really lights them up, and then over time transitioned from doing less things that take energy away and doing more things that give them energy. And through their process, they've become these people that we idolize and we look up to. And I think this is important. It's something I've learned over the last little while, and I'm really cultivating it. And I think it's an important message because, again, I think we've been misled to thinking that we should just know it. But the problem is, if you look at most people, I was in this camp, a lot of my friends, and if I look at the world, struggle with figuring out their passion, and it's because of this mind frame of I should just know it already, as opposed to it's something that needs to be uncovered. I wrote a great metaphor. It just came to me as I was writing my today's message, which was, if you look at it like a block of wood and you're the sculptor, it's like your passion and purpose is inside of that. It is the art piece that is revealed as you continue to carve away and do the work and dig deeper and find things and try things and test things. Then at the end of that, you'll have a better idea. But it's a process. It's like we're not waiting to the end piece, because the end piece is our life, that whole process. But as we work and sculpt, we get a better idea and things start to come together and form, and we get more invested and more knowledge of those things that light us up, and then our passions. And as we get more clarity on what lights us up, our passions, our dreams, then that makes the decisions in the day to day easier, because now we have more clarity. So I think it's both. It's like we need to work on, it's like what people talk about, clouds and dirt, micro, macro. We need to work on the high level strategy, what we want to do, what our dreams look like, making those tangible, carving them away, working at them, getting them more detailed, spending time, really making that something, so that in our day to day, we know where we're mapping towards. We know how to make micro corrections. I just watched a video that said something like 90% of planes are always off course, but the pilot or the computers is constantly correcting that course. And it's those micro corrections. But we need to know our destination. We need to know the destination we're headed so that we can continue to correct towards that destination. And again, I think the false dichotomy, the false belief is thinking that without work, we're going to know that destination. And it's like, no, that takes work. It takes work to figure out what infuses you with energy and what you really want to do and what you want to go after. And I think that this mind shift can be very relieving, because instead of feeling powerless, like, oh, I don't have it figured out, I don't know what my passion is, I don't know what to do, actually realizing it, like any other thing, it takes work. Like if you want to get your body in shape, it takes work. So if you want to figure out what your passions are, it takes work. It takes work to go and try a bunch of different things and see what, like, I think the problem is most of us have never gone and just tested many things, myself included. Now I'm at an age, almost 30, where I finally feel like I've experienced enough things to know a handful of those that really fire me up. But there could be many more things that I've never experienced and I might never experience that really feed my soul. And so it's really about trying things. And then as you find things that have that initial spark, it's about digging deeper. It's about doing more of it, practicing that craft, getting better, which then fuels that fire to be that really burning passion that I think we're all looking for. I think it exists. I think it's true. Look at any successful people you might follow or might want to model. It's like there is an energy about them, a drive that makes them do what they do. That's passion. But they weren't born with it. We need to take more responsibility to realize that things take work, that to create that hot ember, just like a fire, you have to nurture a fire. You have to do specific things at the beginning. You have to get that spark. You have to, as it's little, be careful about, you can't just throw big blocks of wood. You have to put tinder and build it up, and then put bigger pieces and bigger pieces and bigger, and eventually then you can throw logs on the fire and you have this raging hot fire with hot coals. I think that's the ultimate destination, but we have to realize that that is a process, that most of us aren't going to be lucky to just find that most of us have to do the work to figure out what that is, to cultivate that flame and that desire and that passion inside of us, which will then give us that energy to push through, to make the decisions we need to make to continue chasing that dream. And so I think it's both. It's constantly evaluating the day to day and mapping towards where you want to go. But if you're lost, then spend a little bit more time on clarity, on passion, on dreaming, on goal setting, what it is you want to go towards. And again, not being perfect. Like if you don't have it figured out yet, you need to just make some decisions in a direction to try it. Give it a test. Then make your day-to-day about moving towards those goals. And as you move, you will learn. And as you learn, you can make adjustments. It's amazing to figure out a thing isn't for you, because then now you know that thing, not for me. Now you can move on. Try something else. Other things that you're curious about. And so in kind of this new year where it's all about New Year's resolutions, I think often people don't have enough clarity about what they really want. And because they haven't spent enough time figuring it out, I think too often New Year's resolutions are based on shoulds. I should lose weight. I should blah. And there's not enough. There's not enough intrinsic motivation to even want it. Whereas if you really dig deeper, spend some time, ask yourself, what do you want? What do you really want? It'll help give you clarity around that, and then you can make those day-to-day actions towards that goal. I will leave it at that for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!